There is a lack of respect within the members of the PAC. They fail to show respect for Mazibuko, and they don't have political tolerance. What I saw on TV is only that they are fighting for powers, nothing more, nothing less.
Good evening, Bongani. This is Mpumalanga from Rustenburg. I'm actually very disappointed with the PAC. There is honestly no correlation between the revolutionary ideas of Comrade Robert Sobukwe and the thuggery behavior that we saw, which was displayed at the funeral of his widow. It was pure disrespectful. Those PAC comrades should be very ashamed of themselves. Thank you very much.
Right, you're still with us on The Full View. We're meant to be having a debate on the PAC and what unfolded at the weekend. And we're joined now for a right of reply by the other side, as it were, of also the PAC. And we're joined by Apa Pooe. Apa, you, as far as you telling us at least, are the national spokesperson of the party. And I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Mr. Moloto. How is it that even a simple debate on television is something the two sides can't do?
Yes, it's not good. In fact, it does not look good at all. That's why the leadership of the PAC, the veterans, the elders of this organization, together with the members, took a decision that we should have a unity conference of the PAC, where we called all the leaders from all different groupings to come under the same roof so as to decide and resolve problems of the PAC. And Narius Moloto refused to be part of that gathering.
He says because he's the president. He says you are usurpers, you've been expelled from the party. Why should he have a conference with people he's kicked out?
The same issues, the same argument that he's raising, he raised it in court when he was trying to interdict the same unity conference. And that was thrown out of court. So it's no longer here, not there. So he is not the president of the PAC, and that has been confirmed by also the court of this country. Not only that, that court confirmed that, there were also other two court judgments which also stated the same. And as matters stand now, you rightly asked the question as to why is Mr. Mbinda still in parliament? For the mere fact that Mr. Mbinda is still the leader of the PAC, and others are also claiming the same, that they are also leaders of the PAC, and that's why we felt it was very important that we needed to have unity conference of the PAC, where we bring everybody, inclusive of the party veterans, former leaders, Ndatepe, Mokhoba, and all other elders of the PAC, where we agreed that we need to have one united PAC. That is, we'll then prepare for an elective Congress in December, where we'll emerge with one president of the PAC.
It's been hard to keep up. For example, there was a time, and it wasn't too long ago, where you, for example, had spoken out against the former leader, Mphahele. That unity conference in Kimberley sought to bring at least those two sides. There is a sense that even the PAC itself doesn't know what its right is doing from its left hand.
No. In fact, I need to correct you on that one. It was never intended to bring Letlapa Mphahele and Mbinda. It was meant to bring all factions. That's why even Narius Moloto was invited to be part of that. In fact, he was part of the program. He refused to attend that meeting. And it was only not for PAC. It was also, remember, there were also formations that splintered out of the PAC. They were also part of the Pan-Africanist movement. They also formed part of that. And there were also other little formations that also were contesting elections. So we then said, let us all, as Pan-Africanists, let us all gather and agree that we need unity, particularly now that we are approaching elections, particularly that the nation was getting confused as to who is the leader of the PAC.
So the issue of the day, you heard the voice notes that we've been getting, a number of people quite upset at the scenes that unfolded. It was meant to be a dignified funeral for an icon of the party. Moloto says it wasn't his people that were involved. He blames your side. Your response?
Let me start by saying what is very important that I should let the nation know is that Moloto was never involved with the preparations of that funeral. I was directly involved on behalf of the PAC with all the stakeholders.
So is he lying when he says it was his side that initiated everything with government?
He was lying through his teeth, and I can prove that In fact, this morning I even sent the photos where I had met with the family. Even after the funeral, we had met with the family just to pay, and paid them a courtesy visit. So it's not necessarily true. What may have happened is that he may have had some friends in the ANC that he was talking to, but not the family, not the people who were preparing for the funeral, including government departments that were involved.
So let's talk about this then. We heard from government at the weekend that in fact the family had signed off on that program. The family had agreed to proceedings as they were meant to unfold. So if you were the one behind it, can we then say that, you know, what went wrong?
No, that is not. That is also not true. That's why I'm here. In fact, I'm here to correct all that, because the program was only received by the family on the eve of the funeral. It was never received by the family. It was never signed off by the family. In fact, I have a statement signed by the family confirming what I'm saying here.
Pumla Williams from GCIS told my colleague Luthando on Saturday that the family had signed off on that program.
That's not true. I'm telling you.
Are you saying Pumla Williams was lying?
I'm telling you, even Pumla Williams, I was part of the GIS meeting. I was part of the security cluster. I was part of everybody who was, including the DG, who was involved with the preparations of the funeral. And I'm saying to you, without any fear of contradiction, that the family, together with the PAC, we never signed off that program. In fact, it came as a surprise, that program, including how the events unfolded. For instance, you will never have a PAC funeral where slogans of another political party are shouted, Amandla, Makabani, and all of that. You know, the PAC slogans are very clear. And if you look into the actual program, nowhere is the PAC mentioned. If you look into the actual program, nowhere is it mentioned that Mama was the member of the PAC. So it cannot in any way be that it was the PAC program. So let me
put this to you then. There's always a contestation around how struggle icons are remembered. Many people from other liberation parties have complained that it's generally only ANC veterans who are recognized. Here was an event. Government said we'll make it a state funeral. We'll have a minister MC. We'll even have the deputy president come and give the eulogy. And still that wasn't good enough.
Yes, and for simple reasons. As an organization, and we are going to make submission to that effect, that we need to look into the policy around the so-called official funerals, wherein you have leaders of another political party running the program to the exclusion of the member of that particular party. But most importantly is that much as we may want to have these official funerals, we are not allowing that the funerals should be hijacked for political ends.
But isn't that exactly what we saw on Saturday? I mean, when you look back on those visuals, would you say that you are proud of what transpired there? You've heard from our viewers, they're saying it brought dishonor to the Sobukwe name.
What we are saying as an organization is that we refused that the legacy of Sobukwe should be hijacked. We have seen in many other funerals what has happened with regard to the government, with regard to the flags of the ANC. Here in the SABC, the artist last week who has been buried, there was a flag of, but it was supposed to be an official funeral. We have seen with Winnie Mandela what happened. We have seen with Nelson Mandela what happened.
Let me ask
and with regard to this one, as an organization, we really refused that our funeral should be hijacked for political ends, and we really refuse that the PAC should be recognized for what it is, and Mama was the member of the PAC. Nothing can take that away from her.
Absolutely not. But when you look back then at what eventually transpired, are you proud? Is that the way you would have wanted Mama Sobukwe to leave this world?
Some of the events, we regret them indeed, but we are not in any way apologizing. And that's why we're also having a problem with regard to the initial statements that were said by Narius Moloto. Those are not the views of the PAC. The PAC is not apologizing to the government with regard to how we conducted ourselves in terms of reclaiming our legacy, in terms of reclaiming our leader. And further than that, what is also painful, my brother, and I need to say it here, is that our mother, before, when she was ill, she did not receive the best medical care that this country can offer. She did not receive the medication that she was supposed to receive from the same government, which wanted to honor her on her death. We are saying no to that. You cannot honor the person while you on his death, on her death, while you refused to do that while that person was still alive.
Okay.
That is the crux of the matter.
Okay, fair enough.
You look into the cost of that funeral and everything that is associated, and you look into the humble life that our mother was living. There's
I have to come in here. Because
yes.
You've made those points. Final question. We've got an election in 2019. Whose face is going to be on that ballot box, on that ballot paper?
That is very important, my brother. During December, from the 14th to the 15th, the PAC will be holding a national elective congress, inclusive of everybody, and we are inviting Narius Moloto also to become part of that congress. And out of that congress, we will have one united leadership of the PAC that is going to take PAC into the elections.
I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there with Apa Pooe, who says he is the national spokesperson of the PAC. I suspect my initial question is perhaps not as clear even at this point. Whose PAC is it anyway? We do want your views. #FullView on Twitter, and of course, continue to send those voice notes.